The Center for Innovation and Technology is offering you a golden opportunity to speak directly to your market at an affordable price. We also offer media training workshops, live streaming, documentary production, and events management. Get in touch with us today on the following numbers: +263 867 711 0290 or 0718 100 235. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media platforms. Like our Facebook page, Center for Innovation and Technology. Follow us on Twitter @SiteZW. And you can also check out our website, www.site.org.zw.
Welcome to Code 0292. My name is Lungile. In this week's episode, we listen to a testimonial by Mandas Marikanda, the first CEO of the Zimbabwe Women's Microfinance Bank, and she talks about the obstacles that young people go through and what they can do to overcome them. Stay tuned and enjoy.
What I want to share with us is inspiration. I love to inspire. When I see young people, I see a lot of potential. Then, when I was in university, I never dreamt one day I would be CEO of a financial institution. I could only compare myself with what I knew. But there are certain things that you don't know about yourself, even about where you will end up being. I want to thank God for the big the reservoir of knowledge, which is the Bible. It says the steps of a righteous person are ordered of the Lord. I want you to know that there are people who had planned to be something else, but somehow along the way, it didn't turn out to be that. And I want you to know that as you sit there, life is meant to be enjoyed, not endured. Don't mourn. One of the first lessons that I learned then I was doing my A-levels, was I went to a school that I didn't want to go to, because according to me, the school that you learned in, the people that you are associated with, and rub shoulders with, they determined who you would be. But I then discovered during the year when I went for my A-levels, there was a new policy that was put in order to develop regions, educational regions. So they said, no student from another region will be allowed to learn in another region. So whilst I was in Masvingo, my school that I preferred was this school, because I qualified. There I'd been offered a place. I was sent to a school that was just starting to have its A-levels. So they had no lab that was developed. Everything was...
Center for Innovation and Technology is offering you a golden opportunity to speak directly to your market at an affordable price. We also offer media training workshops, live streaming, documentary production, and events management. Get in touch with us today on the following numbers: +263 867 711 0290 or 0718 100 235. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media platforms. Like our Facebook page, Center for Innovation and Technology. Follow us on Twitter @SiteZW. And you can also check out our website, www.site.org.zw.
Welcome to Code 0292. My name is Lungile. In this week's episode, we listen to a testimonial by Mandas Marikanda, the first CEO of the Zimbabwe Women's Microfinance Bank, and she talks about the obstacles that young people go through and what they can do to overcome them. Stay tuned and enjoy.
What I want to share with us is inspiration. I love to inspire. When I see young people, I see a lot of potential. Then, when I was in university, I never dreamt one day I would be CEO of a financial institution. I could only compare myself with what I knew. But there are certain things that you don't know about yourself, even about where you will end up being. I want to thank God for the big, the reservoir of knowledge, which is the Bible. It says the steps of a righteous person are ordered of the Lord. I want you to know that there are people who had planned to be something else, but somehow along the way, it didn't turn out to be that. And I want you to know that as you sit there, life is meant to be enjoyed, not endured. Don't mourn. One of the first lessons that I learned then I was doing my A-levels was I went to a school that I didn't want to go to, because according to me, the school that you learned in, the people that you are associated with, and rub shoulders with, they determined who you would be. But I then discovered during the year when I went for my A-levels, there was a new policy that was put in order to develop regions, educational regions. So they said, no student from another region will be allowed to learn in another region. So whilst I was in Masvingo, my school that I preferred was this school, because I qualified. There I'd been offered a place. I was sent to a school that was just starting to have its A-levels. So they had no lab that was developed. Everything was, which is the pioneers. I felt like my life had come to an end. But remember what I'm talking about. I'm talking to you about, if I knew what I knew today, things would be different. But I like the free-spirited in me. We decided, I remember one of my lecturers had never lectured anywhere. We were new students at the school. This lecturer was just coming from school too. He had no idea. And I remember in one of the lectures, he said, guys, you better start to learn on your own. I honestly don't know what I'm doing here. Honestly, he was very forthright. And from that time, we started knowing what it meant to pick your syllabus and then to teach yourself through. And needless to say, when the time for exams came, we excelled. We had 13, 15 points, 10, the lowest were 10 points in our clique. That's how much, when you are determined, things can work for you. We decided, those who are in town and those who are in the rural schools, the difference between us is that it's how I apply myself. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to apply, to submit to you that this attitude of being thrown into the deep end at A-level is what has pulled me throughout my life. So what I'm going to share with you is more of a testimonial that actually helps. Was my role, I'm the CEO of the Women's Bank, and for you to know why I think the steps of the righteous person are ordered of the Lord. This bank was supposed to be set up in 1982, 2 years after independence. 2 years after independence. Then I was in grade 5. It never came to materialize. It materialized in 2017 when I was mature enough, seasoned enough, and here I am, the first Women's Bank CEO. If you think it's wisdom, then you have missed something. It's how God places your foot along the way. But there are a few things that I also want to inspire you. It doesn't matter where you are born and who bore you, how educated they were, how much money they had. It doesn't matter. What matters is now you are on stage. You are actually the player. You are on stage. It's not about your mom. It's not about so much of the money that they had. It's not about who approaches you and says, I love you. It's how you respond to that. I mourn and my heart aches when I look back. When I went to university, I went and my first degree was in rural and urban planning. Currently, I'm working on my doctorate. My first, you need to clap hands for me. One thing that I learned is that when I went to university, it was a 4-year program. And for the 4 years, that was at the University of Zimbabwe, by the way, the 4 years, I wasn't raised because I come from Masvingo, so I didn't have a relative in town. My serious abiding in town came because of university. Hello? Yeah, because Masvingo, you wouldn't consider it like Harare, you know. So we had colleagues. When you meet someone, you think who is someone who has been from Harare. Come on, girls. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even to do with who bore you and where you came from, whether you never cleaned pots at home, whether you farmed in the farm. What matters is who you will be 20 years from now. If you mess your future because of your entitlement now, it's your fault. I stayed in Rays for 4 years. I had some of the most promiscuous roommates that you could ever imagine. You think you are now more exposed than us? No. Every generation has enough of sexuality. There is. Seriously. There is enough of that. And others made it. It was Mount Pleasure, Mount Pleasant, and then Mount Pressure towards the third semester. Because people would just come and their relationships would be everywhere. And then after some time, you would then see bums, people with their tummies. I lost good friends when I was at university. But I want you to know that there are things that you cannot lose along the way. One of the things that I want to thank God for is the Ubuntu that my mom taught me. She just told me that if you fall in love with a guy and you want to demonstrate to him that you love him so much, and you give him your body, you have paid too high a price, girl. That's my mom. As learned as she was, but I picked it up. So no matter what my friends did in my room, I stood my ground. Integrity is not bought. Remember, I'm talking to you what I knew. He has talked about, they are going to talk to you about things that are practical. But now I'm appealing to that person in that small body. Because generations to come, you are going to be a mother tomorrow. One thing that I learned along the way is that they aged. We never aged. At one point, they were toddlers. And at one point, they were young people. I look at my daughter now and I'm thinking she's doing third year at the same university. Inside, I feel like I'm 16, but I'm realizing I have an offspring now. One is doing third year, one is going into first year. It means I'm ancient. But I don't feel that anyway. I don't. But what I know is I've been where you are, but you haven't been where I am. And those who have hearkened to this kind of advice, I'm so happy, Prof, that I'm talking to them now. Because wherever I go, I always say them, there are two B's that do not go. Guys, close your ears. Now I'm talking to ladies. There are two B's that do not go parallel. You can't yoke the two together. Boys and books. I know you may not say yes, girls, but I'm talking to you, eh? Those two do not go along. I know you might be seated to a suitor, someone who says they love you so much. It's unlikely. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I know I'm already sounding like your mom because I'm one. And I'm also your big sister. Come on, you need to love me and give me some love. If only I knew what I know now. So I'm taking it from me to give it to you. Wisdom is for you to build up, not to test. You don't have to go through the same pain. A wise bird builds its nest from other birds' feathers. Hello? Most likely, unless it's by choice, at a certain point you are going to settle down. Yes, you are. And it's unlikely that you settle down with the same guy whom your eyes bulge out when you see your heart palpitations. Then after some time you just realize, after all that brand shirt he was putting on, it's his mom who bought for him. He doesn't own anything except a pen and a paper. Yeah, boys, I know you don't like me now because I'm shaking your nest. But if only the girl knew what I know now, they can actually preserve themselves. 20 years down the line, you'll be embarrassed to meet someone and he says, Unkwenyana, how are you, say? And you remember, this one knows my nakedness. That's yuck. That's what I say. So I can talk to you like this because I want to thank God that then I looked like I was backward. But I want you to know that I'm on the forefront of the pack. Because now I can advise you and I can tell you that you can be where your mom or your dad is not. And you can still keep your ubuntu. If you can pay for a pie and a casket with your body, that's an unfair transaction. I'm not so sure the way that now noise is coming from, but let me proceed. Because I'm not here for popularity contest, but I'm here to show something. There are things that every student is concerned about. It's about the issues about employment. While you're in school, you want to be that person. So you emulate us, you want to be me, you want to be whosoever. But I want you to know that life has taught us that you were not born today. You were to grow gradually. Little by little is a very good principle, because we could have just taken a grade 1, took them to university and they mature. But as your body matures, there are reasonable decisions that you make along the way. The assumption when you come to university, to college, is that you are mature enough. It's surprising when the person who is expected to be a role model to the younger ones below is acting contrary. Heroin will always be there, extras, all those drugs will be there. But who says you should test them? Someone got disappointed the other day. They asked me, you tell me you have never been drunk? I said, no. I said, where did you grow up? Who says we should all be drunk at a certain point? Who says? This is about peer pressure. I learned along the way that I would rather lead the pack than the pack leading me. If you find someone who is your friend, that their opinion matters despite what you want to do, please run away quickly. It pains at that particular point, but it will give you merit tomorrow. I also learned when I finished university, I was doing round table planning with so many options of what to do. Like my brother was saying, when I finished my first degree, I was wondering, I'm too young, what do I do now? You get stuck, and I thought things would come on a platter. As youth, one of the things that I want you to know is that you are not entitled to anything. Yeah, I want to take away the entitlement mentality. It is what causes us to be negative on any social platform, that you feel like they owe us. Who owes you? Are you aware that everyone who is in their position here, they are working? I'm a CEO because I'm at work. The president is the president of Zimbabwe. He is also paid for that. Hey, come on, he wasn't born to give you on a platter. He also has a family. He also has people around them. When we start to know those Ubuntu issues, you stop having pity parties, where you feel like, if I associate with Prof. Murwira, Shangu Shaiti, and you say, can I pick you bring this false humility that I want to knock today. It's okay for you to be respectful. But if you were to be thrown in my situation, you become me. All of a sudden, you drive Bangorako, you've got your home, you honestly have nothing to worry about. Would you still be as respectful as you are? Not likely. You'll be this pompous kind of a person who is vibrating left, right, and center. But what stops you from doing that is what you have invested in understanding what is authority. If an elderly person is an elderly person, there are certain things that we just don't say. Am I talking to students here? Yeah. Who gave you the freedom of stripping down anyone? You can actually tell everyone is fighting. We've got keyboard warriors. And I'm just thinking, we can't do that. We are fighting everyone and saying anything. I thank God because I can be different. I will decide not to pass anything that I think harms someone. That's the Zimbabwe that I love. I learned when I left college that at times you don't get paid what you want to get paid. You have a dream where you can earn $20,000 for what, my brother? What are you bringing on the table that will make you earn that kind of money? I've heard people as we're coaching and mentoring you. Someone says, don't be afraid. Declare your value. What value do you have? Carry currently now I have value because what I bring on the table is experience. And I have an foresight. There are certain things that I just don't, that just I know. There's a point when you get employed and you are so desperate to get the job, you can do anything. But as you acquire knowledge, skills, you become indispensable along the way. At that particular point, that's why I say when you come into an interview, put your weight on the table. Not to just say because I'm an engineer. Engineers are scarce. Who says? I fired quite a number. I've fired CAs, I fired, because they come with an entitlement with a paper. I ask them to produce financials that they can't do anything. I actually end up doing their work. We can't do that. I've learned along the way that hard work pays. No in action, and that's what I want to share with you. What is that which you are good at? Makeup, we can all do that. And we can disguise ourselves. Now we can put all those eyebrows and you just think, is she 12? Yes, I can be 12 in a moment. But that's not me. That's a disguise. That's a decoy. Who are you really? What are you selling? If you come to the Women's Bank, we are offering jobs. What can you offer me? I send you to Tower there, and the best job that you can do is to find schemes of how you can steal money. At times I wonder, when I grew up, what I know is what doesn't belong to me, I don't take. My second job, I've always been head-handed along the way. I discovered I get head-handed because I bring value on the table. There was a time when funding had to come through when there were no systems. And that account came into an account that I was handling on my own. I think it was 140,000 US dollars. And no one had put systems anyway. But when I did everything that needed to be done, not even a cent, I didn't take even a cent. Not that I didn't need money, I needed money, too much of it. But anything that doesn't belong to me, I'm just not a thief. If someone leaves their handbag there, is it safe? Next. Let's not talk about your degree because we've been there. We can tell you what we have. Let me take you now to where I am. Some of the things that I do in terms of moonlighting, which I know I can share with a few of you. The challenges of students is access to resources, employment, you want status, you want possessions, you want money and so much money and all that. I learned that the best way for me to do that is for me to create money on my own. This madam, I worked with her after I had left part of my job. In 2010, I resigned to start my own consultancy. But I started consultancy when I left university. Because no one could employ me, I went to Air Force. I can say it now, because no one can track those guys. I went to Air Force. Yeah, I went to Air Force and I finished my degree in Royal Navy Planning 4 years, but I loved speed. So I was thinking of being a pilot. Despite the investment I'd done, I went there. I went through the stages. Then along the way, someone took my hand, this gentleman, hung, dude, tall, and neat in uniform. He says, for you to succeed here, you have to be my girlfriend. I voted with my feet. I voted with my feet away. I wanted the job, but I voted away. I had no money, but I couldn't let someone take advantage of me like that. I went to another transport company so that no one would pick out the name. They wanted trainee managers. I went there and I was successful, and this man says, for you to succeed, come and see me. They will create reasons for you to. I went there several times. Your application is being processed. Then this other day, he says, come to the Botanic Gardens. And then when he went there, he says, you see, you need to just pay a bit. And I said, I don't have money. He says, stop that bush. People don't frequent there. I can be very fast. That's how crude some men. That's what we say at the bank. So I voted with my feet again. I don't know for you, maybe you fell for that. I wouldn't. It happens to graduates. What I knew is if they want what I have, which they don't have, I can never give them on a platter. I went to about 3 places. The other one I had already been recruited, and the HR manager says, this is how people repay here young graduates. I voted with my feet again. I was naive, I didn't report them to anyone, but today I can talk about it. Some of them, when they see me, they respect me a lot. And say, how are you? But they know they once tried to take advantage of me. What I learned is as long as you say no, if someone pushes them to be there, told, Benton, that's abuse. If they push themselves on you, this happens in colleges. Professor has got a challenge with the rates of STIs in universities. They just don't fall on you. You are relating. Have a life. Choose something. I thank God because what I'm telling you, 4 years I didn't date anyone in university. Not that serious, I didn't. Not that I didn't. You better give it to me, I didn't. And the man that I got married to was not in university during our time. So imagine if I had gotten hold to someone else. So I'm trying to say to you, this person who looks so attractive to you may just be something to retard your education. I want to employ you 5 years from now. Maybe you might be the next CEO for the Women's Bank. At the Women's Bank, we transform things. We don't expect you to come and say, what do you offer me? Please come and offer us what you want. I want to then end up talking about what we do at the Women's Bank. Before I talk about the Women's Bank, let me talk about what I do. We do moonlighting. If you can't get employed, I want you to know that you can create something for yourself. I've been doing this since those times I voted with my feet. I realized that I could make money. So how do you make money? You may be just a student, but there are some things that you are very good at. I've tried everything that can give you money. So as I was seated there, someone was just coming through and said, I remember you used to train maids. And I do train maids. And some of the maids that I train people who are of quality. Before your job comes on board, I also train you in that. If my daughter cannot learn the art of what a maid does, because I'm the chief maid in my home, no matter I'm a CEO, but those attributes of being a maid are what drives me as a good mother, and a good wife, and a good spouse, and the me who is here. So if someone becomes a maid along the way, we look down upon them. But I want you to know it's not everyone who earns $1,000. But if a maid comes through and she's earning 250, she's so much better than you, my brother. During the semester, you only take money from your mother. Let me submit to you that you can make money as a student. On the sideline, I do run what we call micro-franchising. I have over 600 ideas that have been pitched that are ready to go. I can't run them because I'm fully employed. Moonlighting is what you do when you're employed somewhere. I'm offering it to the university authorities who are here because it's something that you can do as a student. Am I talking to someone? Yes. Some are struggling. You can't even pay your school fees. You can't pay your semester fee. How much is it? So little. Let me offer you what we are offering you at the Women's Bank. You've heard about Castor Bean. We are want to excite you as the Women's Bank. Castor Bean is not labor intensive. There is a market for it. You don't have to be there. You can plant it and it can grow itself over 5 years. One plant. Imagine if you're struggling with your tuition. Let's imagine this because it's happening, but let me take one of you. And I imagine you've got a place at home where your parents are doing agriculture. I know with your manicure and pedicure, that's not you. You don't do agriculture. But what if in that piece of land in the next 3 months you can get $1,000? What would you do differently? Money is a bad leader, but it's a very great follower. It's also not very clever, it follows ideas. If you are seated there and you've got a farm at your home, this is one way you can come through. You don't need collateral for farming Castor Bean. You just need to come, that 1,000 plus the land that you have with a minimum of 1 hectare. Make yourselves 4 or 2 on a plot. And you challenge your parents to say this is what you want to do. At the Women's Bank, if you come through, you open an account, then you start to transact with us. You then apply for a loan to get the inputs. Maybe the inputs and the draft power. Then you seed you sow the Castor Bean. It will grow on its own. No cattle eat it, no goats. It will just grow. And then you just need to know when to harvest it. But the first harvest, if it's irrigated, it will not give you less than 3 tons. That's $3,000 in three months. You'll have paid your tuition for the next 2 years. That's not just enough. It will give you a yield every three times a year, every quarter. It means by the time you finish your university, you are already in a value chain. You can be a producer of Castor Bean and then move on. This is where the incubation centers come in. Castor Bean is high in oil content. It's for biofuel. It can be used for my engine oils. RBZ using over $2 million annually to import engine oils and the related US dollars. Imagine if you were to create, we are now creating this value chain. Don't wait until you finish university. Get in touch with us as the Women's Bank. We want to excite you because this is where you come in. There are so many opportunities. At the Women's Bank, we don't ask you, we don't expect you to come and say, what do you offer me? Come with your idea, but remove the entitlement. This slave queen and diva thing doesn't work with us. We already know who you are. You need money, you need to be supported. You need to walk through. I did come with my team, but Barbara, they can lift her hand. She's the owner of the brand for the Women's Bank. And because you are seated there, Professor, I'm submitting that we believe we are a partner. We are a bank which is not competing with anyone, we complement. So if you see me with the Empower Bank, we are not even competing because the space for banking in Zimbabwe is so huge. We're just meeting all the same people, 2 million, who go to Standard Chartered and go. And so we are messing people along the way. We want you to come on board, we want to clean you up. We want you to know how to really do proper handling of money. Money shouldn't make you bossy. It should give you ubuntu. It's a good follower, but a bad leader. When it's leading you, it gives you the palm, it makes you rough, you abuse others along the way. We want to unlearn what we learned along the way. We want to be a new generation that handles money well. If you know what I know now, you can play with me. May God bless you.
Well, that was it for this week. See you next week as we bring you more captivating stories. From me, Lungile, it's bye for now.